Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. There were two girls playing in a playground, Sarah and Maryam. Now Maryam was a little more darker complected than Sarah, but they've been friends for a long time and they were playing with each other. So when a girl named Aisha saw them playing, she came up to Sarah, went up to her and was troubled. She told Sarah, "Why are you playing with that dark-skinned girl?" This is what she asked her. So Sarah didn't understand why she would ask her that question. Then she further went on to tell her, "Don't play with that girl, she's dirty." Now Sarah was understanding, and it was further explained that the reason she said dirty was because of her skin complexion. Her skin complexion. Racism is not accepted in Islam. What about the boy Ahmed? He was a born Muslim and he liked this girl Maryam. Ahmed was someone that tried to practice his religion again, and so was Maryam. They never really knew Islam, but due to the fact that they were consciously trying to pray and to practice, they thought that they would be compatible for one another. They were the same nationality, but they were of a different tribe. And this is what caused the problems between their parents. When they went home and told their parents that I want to get married to this girl, we're the same nationality, but we're from a different tribe. We have a different last name. When they saw this, or when they heard this, they realized that their parents were not pleased with it and would not allow that to happen. Nothing based on their religious inclinations, but just on the fact of their last name said it all. Tribalism is not accepted in Islam. What about the new Muslim, Michael? He embraces Islam, and after embracing Islam, he wants to marry another convert sister. And this convert sister is of another color. They're both American. But when he goes to his mother and says, "You know what, I want to marry a woman," she prays, she fasts, she's trying to do good in her life. She's trying to leave off those things that you see me leaving off. But she's of a different nationality. She's of a different color. The mother and father are enraged when they find out what color she is. They didn't even ask about her qualities. They didn't ask about how she is as a person. As soon as they found out what color she was, they said never. Why? Because she is from the nationality of people that used to oppress us hundreds and thousands of years ago, and we will not accept that. Discrimination, stereotypes, racism is not accepted in Islam. Allah the Exalted mentions in the Quran, and he talks about this reality. Allah knows that individuals are racist and are stereotypes. Racism being that you have a belief that you are superior because of your color or of your culture. And stereotypes is where you generalize a certain group of people. And discrimination is where you will differentiate based on that belief system that you have, or based on generalizing a certain group of people a certain way. Allah is well aware of this. He is Al-Alim. He is the all-knowing. He mentions the source of this act that people perform, or of this belief, when he tells the story of Satan, when he ordered Satan, to prostrate to Adam. Now Adam was the first of creation, and he was a noble form of creation. So Allah ordered the angels, and he ordered Satan to prostrate to him, but Satan refused. We find this in chapter number 7, verse number 12, where Allah the Exalted says, after أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم, قال ما منعك ألا تسجد إذ أمرتك قال أنا خير منه خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. Allah mentions the story when he says, firstly, he said, "What prohibited you from prostrating after I ordered you?" Then Satan responds, he said, "I am better than him. You created me from fire and created him from mere clay." So Allah here is teaching us a lesson. He's showing us the reality of Satan, because Satan, what is his job? His job is to speak to you and I, to whisper to you and I, to try to persuade you and I to perform evil deeds, to perform things that Allah does not want us to do. That is the job of Satan. That is the job of Iblis, which is the name of Satan. So here we see when Allah orders him and says, "Why didn't you prostrate when I ordered you to?" What is his response? And this is what is important for us to understand and to implement, to be opposite of this way of thinking. Firstly, what is his first thing that he said? "I am better than him." So he acknowledges and says that I am better than him. Lack of humility. Why? Because of a physical characteristic that you have given me, that you have created. What does he say? "I am better than him. you have created me from fire and him from mere clay. Now fire can overpower clay. Fire influences clay more than clay influences fire. So fire has more of these stronger characteristics. So Satan, being that he knew he was created from fire, he said, I'm better than him. His physical characteristics caused him to be arrogant, caused him to belittle something else or someone else, caused him to think that he was superior, a belief that he was superior over him. This is the basis. This is the seed of racism. This is the seed of stereotypes and of discrimination for that which is negative. So we see the basis of that in this verse, that Satan is the cause of it. And if we answer the call to Satan, we will be of those who are not God-fearing, because this is not an action of people that fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah the Exalted mentions in another chapter number 30, verse number 22, where he mentions his creation, and he says, and from his signs are the creation of the heavens and the earth, and different languages and colors. Verily, or indeed, in that are signs for those of knowledge. So here he acknowledges the fact that he has created different languages and colors. And the word he uses here for signs is ayah. وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ خَلْقُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَاخْتِلَافُ أَلْسِنَتِكُمْ وَأَلْوَانِكُمْ. So the word ayah actually is the word for verse. When we say a verse in the Quran, we say ayah number so-and-so. Like this is chapter or surah number 30, ayah 22. Why? Because everything other than Allah is an ayah. Everything is a sign of a creator. And this is a beautiful manifestation of the oneness of Allah. So recognizing that everything that Allah has created is a sign, you and I are also signs. This is why he even says different languages and colors. When you see someone speak a different language, do not belittle them if they're in your country and we speak English and they're speaking Mandarin or Chinese or Spanish or another language that is not well acquainted or recognized in your locality. We shouldn't belittle them. We should say, Subhanallah, it is a sign from Allah. Because in actuality, if you took time to learn it, you would be exposed to a whole other culture and the beautiful aspects of that culture, things that your culture does not possess, and vice versa. So this is a sign for people that know his greatness, understand his greatness, the manifestation of creation. So when you as a new Muslim come into the masjid, recognize that Islam is a universal religion. And from the signs of it being universal are the signs of different colors and nationalities. And also the Muslim, the seasoned Muslim, needs to be reminded of that there will be people in America and in different places from the people that you are not of their same nationality coming into the religion of Islam. So you have to recognize that the sign of Allah is that different kinds of people will come in. When you see that, praise your Creator, because he is someone that has created all of these different colors and nationalities for a reason that he mentions in chapter number 49, ayah number 13, where he says, O mankind, indeed we have created you from male and female, and made you peoples and tribes that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you. Indeed, Allah is all-knowing and acquainted. So Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth, says the reason of his creation. What is the reason that he has done it? He says, we have created you in male and female and made you nations and tribes. Before you mentioned languages and colors. Now nations and tribes, for what reason? For you to get to know one another. And if you ever have the opportunity to make Hajj, you will see that in the religion of Islam, within the blueprint of the Islamic structure, Hajj being one of the pillars of Islam, from the actions of Hajj, the ceremonial practices, if one is sincere, they will see how it erases and transcends these egotistical barriers that we have, these cultural barriers that we have, sometimes racist thoughts that we had, never knew that we had, but it comes to surface when we are performing this pillar. It may come to surface when you are praying the congregational prayer. You may see that you may not want to stand by a certain nationality, a brother or sister, or one may not want to stand by you. You as a new Muslim, realizing that and seeing that, which happens numerous times, you have to recognize that living in this pluralistic society is a blessing, that you are exposed to different nationalities and cultures from a young age, but also realize that Satan is always on the prowl. Because if you think about it, when we were young, parents, maybe our parents or other elders told us stereotypical sayings that they would say that this nationality is this. Don't be around this nationality or this kind of people or color of people because they are this. Trying to breed within you a certain belief system. So a stereotypical approach could lead to racism and vice versa. So we as Muslims, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, racism is not allowed. Because when we look back at the story of Maryam and Sarah, see how Maryam could have been affected. It could have affected her self-esteem. You as a new Muslim, it's like you're a baby. Someone may say something to you and it may affect your self-esteem as a Muslim, which entails you probably leaving Islam, not wanting to put up with all of this racism and stereotypes, which you thought wouldn't exist. But always remember, we're human beings and we always make mistakes. So pray for that individual that made a racist statement. Give him advice, be sincere, and recognize it is a sickness of the heart. And the fact that you recognize that it was racism is a blessing. And that person has a sickness who needs advice. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us aware of this sickness, to make us aware of the basis of this sickness and who and what it emanated from, which in return will make us of those who praise Allah more and will make us of those who are God fearing. And this is the goal, to fear Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth. May Allah bless you all and make you of those who are closer to Him in knowledge, understanding, and practice. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Thank you.